Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I'll let everybody tune in here. Oh, I guess the Gram wants to play the game. There we go. Why are we still loading? There we go. Whew. All right, I'll give everybody a couple minutes to tune in. Alrighty. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a good start to their week? Just getting the Instagram set up here. Oh, does your Instagram do the thing where like it shows a really cool photo or a post from someone that you're really interested in their work, and then it refreshes and like you never find that post again? It's very frustrating. Oh, I found this post again though. That's good. Good Lord. Just because like it's always something interesting that I want to be part of or like or interact with, and it like just disappears and it's super frustrating. Alrighty. Just get the Gram loaded. 4K. That seems unreasonable. Okay, so how's everybody doing tonight? We are here for Monday Night Fun. I don't know how I streamed with this setup last week because it doesn't make any sense. There we go. Like this. Voila! Okay. Alright. So here we are. We're going to work some more on this stained glass beauty we were working on last week. As promised, I made some progress. I actually worked on this week. No, just sit with me, buddy, here. One just says hello. Okay, so let me just see what we've got going on here. There we go. So last week we did started a little bit of the shading on our stained glass, and then we had to log off. And then just, buddy, come on, you've been quiet all day. I know. And then I continued a little bit more. Not really living for the turtle right now. So we had the, I had it here and I had it at 100% and it was really dark. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, it's kind of really dark. So I lightened it up a bit, but it still feels really dark. Like I wonder if I have to pull it back to like a 50 or something. I'm not really super sure. We'll pull it down a little bit and we'll just see. That's the best part about having everything on a different layer, is I can do that, play around with later. Because I just feel like it overpowers the shell. I'm not really certain. The turtle's not coming together as nicely as I was kind of hoping it would. But we're going to work a little bit on our lionfish today, who is coming out awesome, and we'll see where we can go from there. Hey Odari, welcome to the live stream. Okay, so I do need a new layer here, and we do need it to be a multiply layer. And I do want to find a new color because the one I used for the turtle was a little too grayed out for what I was hoping for. So let's see what a kind of, there we go, perfection. Okay. So the one on the turtle, it works with the, like on his fins and stuff, it works on that paper just because it's from that paper pattern. But it was a little too gray over top of this and I didn't want to wash it out. I wanted it to be lively and fun. So let me make sure it works on this one too. It sure does. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do some shadows on this lionfish because he's the one that's playing the game right now. I'm not certain that I'm really loving how the rest of this is coming together, so we're just going to see what happens. But we're going to do some shadows here first of all. Alrighty. Get going here. So for everybody tuning in, we are in Fresco today, continuing this stained glass madness. um, series. This one's fighting me a little bit more than normal. If you go down, you be quiet, ma'am, please. But sometimes they take a little bit longer to come together. So I'm hoping that that's what is happening here. We're just kind of slow creep into it. Yeah. I do still have to post the dragon. All these posts have to go up. Everything has kind of been in slow motion this weekend. Not really sure how that happened, but I'm getting a lot done, but it just feels like some things just are taking longer than planned. So I didn't get to posting this week, but I have a lot of stuff coming up on Behance soon. So if you're not following me on Behance yet, follow me there because a lot of my work is going up there right now. I'll be posting all the contents of my coloring book that's up online right now, posting the gnomes that are starting to take over everything, all this madness. No, Mojo, we're going to leave the neighbors alone. Come here. Come here. Good boy. You lie down, please. Good boy. We're trying to be nice to the neighbors because we had a bit of a meltdown on Wednesday, right? We don't want to have that meltdown again. I actually had, so there's my neighbors in the hall. Come here. Come here. Okay. The neighbors were in the hall, just interacting as humans do. Come here, buddy. Let's go. Okay, then leave it. And he was barking at them, and I was on FaceTime with my sister, and it was just freaking chaos. And so I was like, enough. I just heard people talking. And I was like, okay, that's it. We're going to go see what's in the hall. And I literally opened my door. My neighbors were like standing right outside my door. They were decorating their door for Diwali. And they were standing right there. And I was doing the, look, there's nothing for you to worry about thing. I was like, I'm sorry. He's just really cranky today. Your door looks really great. Have a good night. So we're working on being friends with the neighbors so that I don't look like a crazy person. And he doesn't look like a crazy person. I see you have a Christmas tree up already. I do. Christmas is my extremely, hugely favorite time of year. And as soon as I can get that tree up, the better. And so, yes. The tree is up. I'm very excited. Hallmark movies everywhere. Just craziness. But I just love the light of a Christmas tree, so it just gets all cozy business in here. It kind of like started warming up again, which is unfortunate. But not like crazy amounts. But it'll get cold and snowy soon, and then it'll be perfect. Excuse you. Remember what happened last time, eh? So we're just interacting with the... Mojo was very uninterested in the tree decorating process because it meant not playing with him. But he kind of like sits and stares at it. I think it's the lights. He sits and stares at it a lot. Come here, handsome boy. We've been hanging out all day. I don't know why we're being like this right now. Yeah, I know. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Poor Mojo. Oh, dear. So, yeah. Getting some stuff done around here. It's super fun. Oh, I'm really liking how this is coming together. I'm loving the warm weather right now. It's actually kind of like the perfect weather. I said it was warming up like it was 30 degrees. It's like 10. But I like it because I can just pop out with just kind of some sneakers and a sweater when I have to go walk Mojo, because otherwise he has to wait for me to put my boots on and my coat on, and that's just like a whole ordeal. But yeah, it's kind of really nice right now. You can go on a nice walk. You don't have to be too bundled up. If I want to wear my boots, I can. It's kind of a pretty good time. It's pretty good weather. Like, I like the snow. Snow is my jam. But I'm not looking forward to driving with the new first couple snowfalls, because everybody forgets how to do that. It's a stressful time. Oh, Daria, I saw you posted the Moonstone poster. Looking awesome. It showed me really quick, and then Instagram refreshed and pushed it to the bottom of the list, but I was able to find it again. It looks really, really good. Oops. Oh man, this is coming together nicely. I don't know how the jellyfish is going to come together. This may just be the lionfish after. I don't know. The turtle's fighting me really hard. I don't know what's going on. We'll see how it comes together. Keep working on it. 10 more minutes. So I was talking to some coworkers about some ideas I have for the shop in the coming year, because I try and ask people who view my art, what they like and what interests them, because I really love the stained glass stuff, but it's kind of like specific, so not everybody is going to like want to buy a bunch of this kind of stuff or like interact with it and stuff. People really interact with the gnomes. I fell off this gnome wagon. Okay, so what happened was, I'm also a knitter, and there's this designer who does these gnomes. And I've always thought they looked really cute. They looked really finicky though, not really my jam. Wasn't really sure how to... I was worried that, like, I just didn't want to get into it. It just looked really finicky. And then I tried one. She did like a year of gnomes scenario, and my friend and I knit them together. And I've become the gnome lady ever since. People love the gnomes that I'm knitting. I really enjoy making them. They're so much fun. But then also drawing them. Like, I drew a couple a few months ago as part of the open studio at Hello Maker here. I was like, these are a fun like way for me to watercolor. I had these images in my head. Let's just draw them out. I drew them out, and people were responding there, so I posted them. They're in my shop right now. People were responding there, and they're out of control. And so I think next year there's going to be kind of a theme in that gnomes are going to be around, and I'm going to be kind of creating ones that are different kinds of gnomes. So like I'm going to be doing like construction gnomes and like season gnomes and artist gnomes and knitting gnomes and just all this kind of chaos. So that's going to be coming up next year for sure. I also have a couple of fun like coloring themed things that are coming down the line. All this kind of crazy stuff. So still lots to come for next year. And I have a project kind of in mind to keep to the lives, but I have a little bit of work to do in the next couple of months to see if that would be ready to go. Lots happening here. When you get a chance, check out my Behance post. This is for the Moonstone project. Those of you who are not aware of Odari's project, go check out his Behance. Hello. On Instagram, and so go check his thing out on Behance, because it looks like he says it goes through his process, which is fantastic. So I'm definitely going to check that out when we're done here, because watching the lives was so much fun, but I definitely missed a few characters, so I'm definitely excited to check that out. Come here, please. Go boy. He knows I don't have any treats on me, so he knows I'm going to fake him out. Excuse you. Just leave them alone, okay, bud? He was chasing squirrels chasing squirrels in that he was inside and they were on the balcony today. That was fun. Yeah, I really enjoy the Behance posts where you can show your process and everything. I have one in progress for the dragon to go up soon. So all this stuff is kind of like getting out of control here, so I just kind of have a backlog of those posts to go up. So one of those is the dragon's going to go up hopefully this week. My plan. Oh man. So yeah, still lots to come in the studio right now. It's just kind of been kind of like laying a little bit low since the shop went up, just to recoup a little bit, because that was a couple weeks of chaos. But now that that's posted and just ready for the humans, now I'm just kind of easing into plans for next year. Keeping it chill, man. Wait, excuse you. Humans existing in the hall. Excuse me. Come here right now, please. Right now. Let's go. Dude, literally all day you've been quiet. Lie down. Leave them alone, please. Mojo says hi, everyone. Come here. I know. Busy bees we are. I'm writing for the rest of this year and into next year. That's awesome. I like to have lots of projects on hand just for Mojo Homeland Security. I'm going to make you a sweater, bud. Homeland Security. Mojo, don't mess with me. Right, bud? I'm going to do a big sweater. But yeah, no, I like to have lots of projects on hand because, you know, you never know where the creative juices are going to be. And I don't want to be just sitting around being like, oh, well, I don't want to work on those 6 projects, like those one project over there because I don't really feel it right now. I want to have a backup plan, be ready to go. But writing, that would be nice. I used to write a lot when I was like in grade school and high school and stuff. I do a lot of I journal and stuff now, but not a lot of creative writing. But that'd be kind of fun to experiment with a little bit too. For Christmas, I'm asking for 5 more hours in a day. Okay, Bug, can you just... You've been quiet boy all day. Okay, just be chill, Home Slice. He was so good. We went to the Remembrance Day ceremony this week, and he was super good there with a huge crowd of people. And then we were out in the parks, and he was so good. I don't know, I guess I'm like vulnerable when we do the live stream or something, because he is a loud man right now. This crazy guy. I'm no writer, but I'm told that I do well. Gotta listen to the humans. There's a lot of things that I didn't believe for a long time, but people told me, and then I kept doing them. Turns out I was good at them. Sometimes it's interesting talking to the people who look at your work because they have good feedback. And they see it in a different way. Like, I'll look at all these pieces and be like, there's a mistake. And I know where they are. And I think I've mentioned it a few times. There's a piece that's at my parents' place right now. I did it in high school. And almost every time I look at it, I want to pluck it off their wall because there's mistakes that I would like to fix in it. But I've been asked not to do that, so I don't do it. But yeah, just listen to what the people want. Yeah. I haven't read any of your stuff, but I'm sure it's fantastic. All the creativity that is gone into the Moonstone project, it's going to be awesome. And it's interesting talking to people because, like I said, I was talking to friends last week. Be like, what do people like in the shop? But people like, what do people like to see from me? More not so much like, what do you want from me? I will create for you because I want to create for myself as well because if it's for everybody else all the time, then it becomes, if it's not for me in some way, then it's going to feel like work a lot. But I also like to hear what people see and think. Like, I like to talk to people. People will come to me after the live stream and be like, hey, I saw such and such, or could you talk about this and that? And especially when I was first getting started, what they like to see. And then people have given me ideas for like advent calendars. And people have given me all this kind of stuff. So just kind of like what they see in your work and what they see as potential. It's just really interesting because I'm so close to my work that I don't always see where it could go. So it's interesting to see what people have to say. So and I don't know what they would get out of telling you that you're a good writer, Odari, if you're not a good writer. So I don't know what they get out of that kind of fib. So there's got to be something to it. Coming together. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just keep going with this lionfish for right now. How's that? Let's see how it goes. So everybody who's on the stream, who ordered anything so far on the shop, they have been shipped out, and you should see them soon. Ideally this week, based off of where everything was shipped to. So keep an eye on your mailbox. Anybody who missed out on some things, the shop is still open. There are still some products hanging around. Some running a little bit low on stock, but everything minus the hoodies and shirts is in stock and available. So take a look. There's still time to ship in time for the holidays too. So snap some things up if you're interested. Everything I have is really good for stocking stuffers and all that kind of fun madness. But if you did order, it is on the way. I tried to contact everybody, but just in case I missed somebody. What else? Ooh, sweet. Odari's going to share a sci-fi story I wrote. I love it. I always love reading new things. I'm in. Oops. Oh dear. Let's try one more time here. Oh my goodness gracious. I was drawing earlier, so I don't have like rustiness to explain this madness. Sheesh Hues. Let's try again. No, just deselect. Thank you. All right. Oops. Here we go. Looking good. Thank you. I'm definitely feeling this lionfish. For sure. It's coming together nicely. Woo, woo, woo. I love it. Okay. They can't all be, like, it's a little bit of a bummer when things aren't pulling together the way you'd like them to all the way through, but it could just need a few more minutes on it. We'll get there. Okay. Hey, Alessandra. Forgot today was Monday. For some reason, I'm thinking it's Tuesday. Oh my goodness. I worked from home today. Yeah. Sometimes that throws off my groove too. I know I've been on taking vacation every Monday for the remainder of the year. And it definitely throws off my groove when I get in on Tuesday. I have no idea what's happening. It's nice to have the extra day. It's really great. But definitely throws off the groove a little bit when you're like not sure what's going on. So happy Monday. Welcome. You know, so, and sometimes it like throws things off too. Like there was a day, like my company doesn't have like the long weekend in August. And so when I went into work, I was worried that it was Sunday because it was so quiet on the road and everything. And then I remembered that Monday was off for a lot of other people. So I was like, am I up and working when I don't have to be? Because I'm going to be very upset if I'm up and dressed and ready to be out in public and I don't have to be. But no, it is Monday. I hope you're feeling better. I caught a little bit of your live stream, Alessandra, on Sunday, one of the ones. See, I don't even know what day it is. I hope you're feeling a little better, because it sucks to be out of sorts. I went to the library yesterday and got books. Definitely made me feel. They were like $1. Oh dear. So my library does a sale like that. So full comment. Sorry, I just read it and just started answering it. Alessandra says, I went to the library yesterday and got these books. Definitely made me feel better. That's fantastic. And she said they were like $1. So my library does the same thing. They did theirs back in October. And luckily I was busy that weekend, so I couldn't go to the sale because I don't need any more books in my house. I have lots to read. My to be read pile is ginormous. But yeah, same thing. The first time I went to that sale, I was like, okay, I'll give myself a spending limit of $20, thinking that like each book was going to be like $8 or something. But then it was the same thing. Like every book was $1, and like if you buy 6, you get them for $5 or something like this. Every 6th book was free or something like that. Hardcovers were like $2. It was deadly and dangerous. But every now and again, you gotta do something for you. Like I even had a friend call me earlier, and she was like, I'm in chapters. I just needed to be amongst the books. And I'm like, I hear this on so many levels. I getcha. Just be amongst the books until I'm like looking at the shelves being like, I have that one at home and that one at home and that one at home. I recently moved. I bought a house. I don't know if I told you. I'm still adjusting where everything is found. A new library 20 minutes away. Oh, and some were even 50 cents. Holy cow. See, that's dangerous business. Because it was only 50 cents. Bring it home. But buying a new house, that's a big change. So that's congratulations. It's exciting to buy a new house, but yeah, finding the new spaces and everything. Like I know when I moved here, it was finding like, where's the library is one of the first things I hunt down. But all that kind of stuff is fun and exciting, but also kind of a little nerve-wracking at the same time. So keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. Yeah, I love me a good book sale, which is why I try and not seek them out. It's like, I don't know, I know because some of you are in the States. Here, we used to have like scholastic book fairs. So like this company would, I don't know how like if there's an equivalent or it's also in the States, but they would come into the school and there'd be like one day every few months where like the library or the gym would be full of books that you could order. And it was like the best day ever. And we should have that as grown-ups. It would be so perfect. Says, yep, spent $6 though, not bad. I almost got $10 tote bag. Stopped myself since I had the internet bill and the electricity bill to pay today. That's very smart. How responsible of you to keep your bills in mind. I'm trying to do the same thing. I've redid my budget recently and just kind of like, no, if you buy this, you're not going to be able to do that later. You have dinner club next week. Remember. So yeah, very smart of you. All these responsibilities and adulting. She says, yeah, because I need those things or I won't be able to watch you, Erin, or stream or watch Netflix. Those are all top, very important things, and I'm glad I made the list. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's priorities for sure. Definitely the internet bill and the power bill. We had a thing last week. I was working from home. It had to be last week. So I worked from home in the morning that one day, and the power in my building went out, and usually it's like a flicker, but it went out and stayed out, and so I had to go walk Mojo outside and then walk the many flights back up to my apartment. I was all dressed and ready for work. We had job interviews to run that day, so it was all like fancied up. And the power was out. I never really found out why, but it wasn't out when I got home. So I don't think it was out for too long. But yeah, like the things that you forget need power. Like I was like, oh, well, I can't make breakfast because the only breakfast I have is toast. So I'll bring some bread to work and use the toaster there. And a whole bunch of things just like, oh, I'll just quickly check this. Nope, you have no internet. It's just weird, like how I don't think that I'm very reliant on power and internet until something like that happens. And you're like, wow, I'm super reliant on power and internet. Like I think we even had like a big blackout a while ago. I can't even remember. And I would just be like, okay, I'm like, what am I going to do for dinner? Oh, I'll just heat up. Nope. Oh, I'll just do, nope. And it was just kind of surprising to me how much I was reliant on those technologies and everything else. I figured it out, but it's just surprising how much I use those things. Oh, my office I worked at lost power and I had to come home. Yeah. We had that once too. We were just kind of like, we'll wait it out and see. But even we had a big internet outage here last summer. One of our providers was completely out. And it was completely like I woke up and my internet wasn't working and I thought, oh, it's just probably my apartment. I'll see what's going on. But it was out entirely. And I was like, well, I could go into the office or I could just kind of flex out and do it. Because I was like, because my phone wasn't working at all. And it turns out the whole company was out Canada-wide. Because I went for a walk. I was like, I don't want to go into the office and like get into an accident and have no phone or anything. I want to be safe. So I worked offline for as much as I could and then flexed out the day. But then I went for a walk and I found out that the whole company was completely out. And it was out for like a whole day. It was craziness. So Alessandra says the whole town had no power, the street lights didn't work, and I had to drive in the streets. I was terrified just going with no lights. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's surprising how dark it gets without the lights, even in a big, in a city like that. There's that big blackout many years ago. I remember I was at home in the summer. I can't even remember what it was. But it was kind of cool because like it was in the summer, so people weren't freezing, people weren't in danger. So everybody's kind of barbecued outside, but it was kind of cool because everybody's kind of got out and talked with their neighbors, something that people don't do anymore. So it was kind of fun to have that bit of a change. Oh, no traffic lights. Yeah, that's always scary business. So when the power was out here last week, it turns out it was kind of like all the area kind of around my apartment building. And there is one traffic light that we ran into. And most people were figuring it out because you're supposed to treat it like a stop sign, right? So you're supposed to stop and kind of just treat it like a four-way stop sign, which most people were doing on the main road. There's one really big road and a small one crossing it. The small one crossing it, no one knew what they were doing. Like a lot of us were stopped letting them go past because it was their turn and they wouldn't go. So then we would go, but then they would have already gone because they thought it was their turn. It's a lot. So yes, a whole drive home. Luckily, it was just one light for me. A whole drive home when the whole city's out, that would be extremely nerve-wracking. You're right. I think any power outage I've been in, I haven't had to drive, or like if I did, it was like not very far. Usually in a power outage, I'll just go for a walk to avoid that madness. But yeah, when the traffic lights are out, that's always scary because people aren't really sure what to do, or they know what to do and don't do it. Humans plus cars is dangerous business. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rules are the same. I don't know what the rules are in the States, Alessandra, but treat it like a stop sign. That'll be your best bet. We had a big snowstorm here last year to the point, like, oops, that the snow was inside the lights. So, like, there's the three lights, and there's kind of like a little, like, cover for it or whatever. The snow was inside, so you actually couldn't see the lights. Like, the lights were not out. You just couldn't see what it was. But people were just barreling through. I'm like, if you don't know if it's red or not, why are you going that quickly through? It was really scary. But yeah, 2 whole towns worth of that driving, that's too much. That would be very stressful. Too much unpredictable driving. No, thank you. Yeah, I've never, Alessandra says, oh no, that's bad. I've never seen a snowstorm like that where it filled the lights like that. That was craziness. I've never seen that before. It was just so windy while it was doing it. It was scary business. I tried to go home and stay home. How's your Homeland Security doing, aka Mojo? What does he have to say about this? Well, you missed him. He was yelling at the neighbors a few minutes ago, and now he's having a nap. He's had a very busy day of chasing the balcony squirrels and yelling at them from the living room. And all that. He likes the snow. He likes to play in it, but it hurts his feet because he has little feet. So we have boots for him, which he doesn't like, which you got to figure out. I don't know if I want to go to Canada now. You totally want to come to Canada. We have the best winters. Actually, they've been kind of weak lately just because I'm in the south part of Ontario. I grew up in the north part of Ontario, and they have some decent winters up there. It's fun business. You only hear about the crazy stuff, and that's not every day. So you'd be fine. I love me a good solid winter, that's for sure. All right, let's finish some of these fins up. I tried to get a lot of the shading done today and over the weekend so that you guys weren't going to watch me shade so much, but I underestimated how much was on the lionfish. I thought I'd just finish it up and we'd go into some highlights. But yet again, I underestimated this process despite doing this for every live for a year. Oh well. We'll get to see it come together. It's all good. What's the best time to go visit Canada that I won't freeze my whole body? Well, if you're going to go up to the northern parts, if you're going to go up where the snow is, don't come in the winter. Snow's been falling in different, we had snow on Halloween night here. It's gone now. If you want to go in the summer, but if you want to experience the winter, it really depends on where you're going to go. Most people are kind of tired of the winter by the time February happens. I say November. October, November is probably a good spot if you want to risk seeing some snow. There's no guarantees, especially in this part of the world where I am at right now. But, it really depends on where you're going. Hi, Roger. Thanks for tuning into the live tonight. We are working in fresco today. I'm just going to do one more section and then do a zoom out and see how we were doing. I'm going to take a step back and see how we're progressing here so I don't get too deep and make a mess. We are in fresco right now doing stained glass sea creatures. Only one's cooperating right now, but that's okay. I love Canada. Almost moved there back in the day. I can see it from my house. I would recommend. I like it here. It's nice. We're fun. And especially in this area, O'Dari is not very far from where I am, so like the winters aren't, in my opinion, very wintry. Having grown up in Northern Ontario, so you'll probably be fine down here. You don't get a lot of accumulation. You get some, don't a lot. All right, here we are. I'm gonna turn this off. I really don't like this very much, how this has come together. All right, so we are in Fresco. For those of you who are tuning in, I see lots of you coming in, coming out. We're working on sea creatures in my stained glass style, and the lionfish is coming together. So we've broken it down. We have the paper patterns and our line art here, and I'm just putting our dark shadows in, and when we're done the dark shadows, we're going to go into highlights. That probably won't be this week. We'll probably get into highlights next week. But right now we're just kind of getting our dark shadows in, trying to hint at that this is being built with stained glass. If I go and I don't survive, you owe me a coat, Erin. Girl, you will be fine if you come to Canada, but I will happily help you pick out the perfect coat for wintering in Ontario or anywhere in Canada, really. Because every province has a different attack on snow. Like if you go out to the prairies, they have a thing called, I think it's called the Chinook. And it's, I didn't experience it when I was out there, so I'm going to maybe describe it. So if anybody here is from the prairies, I apologize. But it's like wind or pressure that comes down and like the temperature just plummets like very quickly, and it gets very, very cold all of a sudden. We don't really have that here in Ontario so much. I get lake effect snow where I'm at. And so if you're near one of the lakes, it's like a damp cold. It really depends on where you're at. Canada is full of different kinds of cold, for sure. I'm an island woman. My body hates cold. Okay, well, that's unfortunate because I'm a winter woman and my body hates heat. So, yeah. So I do not love when it's humid outside. That is absolutely not my jam. The winter is my jam because I can put all my cozy clothes on and all those fun things. That's my favorite. This one. Cozy sweaters and boots. I bought some new boots. That's my jam. We get the same cold. Yeah, you'd probably, I imagine in the same area we get what they call lake effect snow. So sometimes that means we'll get like a lot of accumulation in a short period. Doesn't really hang around too strongly here, but when I lived closer to Toronto, Lake Ontario has a very brisk, damp breeze that comes off the lake, and it can bite you pretty hard. But my grandmother always said, if you're dressed, any weather is good weather if you're dressed for it. So just get yourself a really good coat, Alessandra, and you will be fine. Like this weather, I can curl up under all my blankets. I can get my heated blanket out. I can have all my big socks and my coats, my sweaters. It's my jam. Now that my apartment's all cozy with my beautiful tree, all the cozy things. Agreed. I love heat but can handle cold. Yeah. It's all like I don't mind like a warm temperature. It's just the humidity, not my jam. Sandra, Erin, you sound like an ad and talking great about cold weather. I'm here to sell the cold weather. It's my favorite. It's my favorite because a lot of people hate on it. I have to listen all winter about the people who hate this, how cold it is, and all this kind of stuff. Oh, and it's my very favorite. I love being under 1,000 layers, cozied up. It can only take so many layers off to get comfortable when it's hot out. I have a million blankets here to get underneath to keep me all warm. What about fall or spring? Actually, like fall to me is like a really good season. It's like perfect because it's not like it's just right. All you need is a light jacket. It's just kind of like it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's that transition out of the summer, all that kind of stuff. You know, I like living in an area of the world where there are 4 seasons because I like the change and the transition. Like every season to me has an advantage. Like in the summer, it's great. I can just throw my flip-flops on and go outside. The spring's fun because you're starting to get into that warmer weather and all that kind of stuff. And I like the fall because it's that transition into my favorite season. Like I love the pumpkin spice. I love the colors. Like I'm luckily able to live in an area that has lots of really nice colors in the fall and all that kind of stuff. So I really like all the seasons, but fall and winter are probably my very favorite because here spring can get pretty slushy and messy, and summer can get really hot. Although this past summer wasn't too bad. I like a transition to switch it up every now and again. But the holiday season, like Christmas and all that kind of stuff, my jam. If you can't tell, my tree's already up. It's my favorite time of the year. For sure. And I definitely love a white Christmas, so I usually head north for Christmas because there's more likely to be snow there than there is down here. Everyone be falling for it. You're hilarious. The fall's a good time. All the deliciousness. Like food's really good. I don't know. I feel like fall and winter have like really good food, but I don't know, like just like chilies and soups and big feasts and things. Not that you don't have that in the summer. I just mean like it just feels like cozy food. I haven't had my dinner yet. Now I'm hungry. Oh my goodness. I like to come into the lives and try and have like a bit of a plan of something to talk about. Like I had a bit of a plan last week, but I do also like to have it kind of like evolve into whatever we talk about, and I love it. Yeah, I just got some nice squash and pumpkins from the local farm. That's awesome. I just bought some squash. I'm going to do butternut squash soup. I made a chili on Saturday. And so my house smelled amazing. And then now I'm going to make some butternut squash soup once I'm done some of that chili. Because it's super nice to have the slow cooker going. So when I come home from work, it actually is my apartment that smells all fancy. Ooh, see, this is coming together. I'm looking. And pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. What is a pumpkin pie Pop-Tart? I want one. That sounds delicious. I actually bought, there's a local bakery. I'm gluten-free. And so I found this bakery here that can make baked goods that I can actually eat, which is fantastic. And they had a pumpkin pie loaf, which I'm going to try, but it also had like an eggnog loaf, which I'm very excited to try. And they had a blueberry pop. No, it was an apple cinnamon Pop-Tart. So sorry. But a pumpkin pie one. That sounds amazing. Hi, is it Afzal? Thanks for tuning in to Behance tonight. Lots of faces. I like it. So we are gonna keep plugging away here. This is coming together nicely. This I'm happy with. So we'll see how. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna finish this fin and I'm gonna work on the jellyfish a little bit because I want to see how that's gonna come together. That'll decide for me our steps forward. I love blankets. So hard to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning for work when it's still dark out. I hear this. Definitely challenge, especially when it's like cold outside and you're like, the blankets have accepted you as one of their own. Totally get it. Afsal says, I have an exam today, just here to refresh. Oh, well, thanks for tuning in to refresh. I understand that brain break. It's been a while since I've written an exam, but definitely needed that break. So good luck on your exam. Whatever the subject matter may be. See, it's been a while. I'm actually doing a cool thing on Friday. A coworker of mine you want the lionfish framed on your wall? Like this piece of art? I hope so. That would sound fantastic. Thank you. A coworker of mine has a friend who's a teacher, a high school teacher, and she was asked to do this thing, but her schedule was just so full. So she asked if I would be able to do it. And so I'm going to be talking on Friday, just a virtual talk with some high school students about my arts journey and how, like, applying to school and all that other kind of stuff, and the application process and job application process and all that kind of fun madness. And I'd forgotten that it was so soon. I checked my calendar. I was like, oh, we're doing it in November. It's months away. And I was like, oh gosh, that's next week. I should check in on that. But it reminded me, like, I'm looking up the portfolio requirements and everything like that. And I was like, oh, the stressy time, just crazy. And I remember that kind of uncertain time. So I'm trying to gather all my details so I can really help them out with it a little bit, because it's a time I had kind of forgotten about a little bit. So it'll be fun to see what the kind of questions they have, though. I'm very excited. I'm at work by 7 a.m. Leave my house at 6 a.m. Yeah, I used to be I'm an early start to my work. I luckily have some flexibility in that as long as I'm there for core hours, we can start early, start late, whatever we want to. But I used to be in the office at 6. I don't do that anymore. But I used to be in at that point, and it's a lot. I'm still an early starter. I start at 7 now. So not much different, but it's an early day. But I get a lot done, and then I have a lot of my afternoon to myself, which is great. So it works out, but especially when it's dark and cold outside, that's more of a challenge. In the summer, it's not so bad. In the winter, sometimes it can be a tougher start to the day. So I'm going to be doing that talk on Friday, which I'm pretty excited about. It just, the mention of exams and stuff, I had forgotten that about that as well. So I'm hopefully going to be able to talk to some of these students about their application process and stuff and all those kinds of fun things. Just glad I checked my calendar, because, like I said, November sounded really far away, and now we're right in the middle. Well, not right in the middle, but pretty close. Which means we only have a couple more weeks to finish these fishes. All right. Okay, so we're going to take a pause on the lionfish, and I'm going to try putting some of this stuff on the jellyfish. Let's see if we can't salvage some of the rest of this illustration, because I'm really only living for the lionfish right now. But I haven't worked on the jellyfish much. I'm the floor manager, so I have to be there, and I get paid well to wake up. So, everybody's got their motivation. I like to start early and get my work done, because, like, I can do things. Like, with work, there's kind of, like, tasks you can handle that you get done for the day. I can do those. And I find, like, my creative juices, like, based off of when I was working at on my master's degree, all that kind of stuff, that kind of, like, creative burst to do my own things usually happens about 2-3 o'clock. So while I'm able to hitting that when I'm at work is hard. Hitting that schedule, because I want to be creative and do my own thing when I'm in that mode. So this way, if I can start work earlier, I'll be almost done work when that hits, and I can kind of lapse into that. So that's just where that comes from. And then I'm done for the day, which is kind of nice. Oops, sorry. Afzal has a different opinion. He said, I would rather be homeless than wake up for work that early. I'm just not a morning person. And that's totally fine. I have a lot of people that I work with. I like to be done my work early evening, be done by like 4:30, and then not work anymore until the next day. And then, but I have a lot of people who will start later and they work way better signing on at like 10 o'clock at night. Everybody's got their work process. I just know that, like, in general, at least right now, my studio work benefits more from me working at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So if I'm almost done work by then I won't be wasting that creative potential. Even on the weekends, like if I'm not working or whatever, I probably won't get up and do any of my, like, I wasn't working on this or anything until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, even on the weekend. So everybody just knows, if you know where your strengths are, definitely roll with it. And it doesn't hurt sometimes to have a couple extra pennies in your pocket for getting up nice and early. Okay, so we'll work on this section, see what we see, and we'll see where we're at for next week. Because I think the struggle with this illustration is that I intentionally picked some kind of organic pieces to see if I could kind of challenge the more rigid stained glass approach, kind of like I did with the Kraken. It's just some of this isn't flowing as nicely as I was hoping it would, so we'll see. Oh, now we're getting into, I also take my son to school before work. Wait till you guys have kids. And I'm 51, things change. They definitely have an added dynamic, for sure. I don't have any, but I've seen the impact, for sure. That added kid schedule. Holy. Lots of juggling. Adulting requires a lot of juggling. But yeah, the added kids, soccer practice, etc. School, definitely an added element. Okay, so let's just get some of this section done here. So like I said, like I was just challenging myself with a bit of like organic. I wanted to kind of look like it was underwater, but still be as a stained glass piece. And I don't even think that it's not like that's not coming through. I just don't really like the color on the turtle is not coming together the way I hoped it would. So I just wonder, maybe I need to try changing the colors on the turtle or powering through. Maybe it'll connect. Who knows? We'll see. Well, let's get a couple more sections. Oh my gosh, how is it like? We only have 4 more minutes left. This is chaos. It should be just enough to get a general idea here, and then we'll let y'all get on with your evening. But Alessandra's gonna send me an avatar I did myself with a code on. Excellent. Please send that to me. I'm so excited to see. So creative. Odari says, my favorite sea creature is the octopus. Drawing them is hard but challenging and fun. I completely agree. So I saw a video the other day on Facebook of this like octopus. I don't even know what kind it was. It was like a news clip or something. And octopus freak me out. There are so many heebie-jeebies. But their design potential is undeniable. That's why I did the Kraken and everything else. The elements in with all the long legs and everything else. Yeah, so like there's so much potential there, and I love drawing an octopus just because there's so much crazy potential. That's why I like the jellyfish too. This is my first attempt at a jellyfish. But I think there's like so much, just it's all the flowy elements and stuff there and the interaction that makes it really, really cool. So yeah, no, I completely agree with Dari. An octopus is very cool. Lots of really great potential. I usually give up on the gazillion legs octopus has, and I'm gonna usually give up on a gazillion legs octopus has, and I'm just like, you just gonna have a pretty face for now. Yes, I had to really stop when I was doing the Kraken. I had to really count out the legs and drew them all out to make sure that they made sense, because yeah, you can get lost in them pretty quickly. Afzel's favorite is a seahorse. Like, it's a horse or a fish. Pinnacle of creativity by God. That's a great way to look at it. There's so much in there for sure, and lots of potential. That's why I also like the lionfish. You've got all these fabulous flowy little bits. Oh yeah, lots of potential. Your jellyfish looks awesome. I always have issues with them. That was what I was worried about here, was I just wasn't sure about, with the stained glass, how it was going to come together. But I'm not disliking this too much. So I think what my issue is, I just wonder if the turtle's too dark. Maybe if we lighten this up a little bit, and then we turn this back on and darken it up a little bit. That's a full dark. Maybe we'll play with it. There's just something not clicking with the turtle, and I don't know why. Because like that takes over too much. This is too light, but it takes over the shell too much. I gotta play with it a little bit and see what's going on. Because the jellyfish is coming out okay. It may be the colors too. Like maybe the color I'm using on the body here is just not the right one, maybe. Okay, we have some figuring out to do, is what has to happen, because I'm liking how the lionfish is coming together, and I'm liking how the jellyfish, even though there's a little bit, how it's coming together. There's something with the turtle that's not clicking. I'm not sure what it is. So I'm going to play around with a few things. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep shading the lionfish and the jellyfish, see where we get. I think maybe I just have the wrong color on the turtle shell, maybe. Maybe we can try switching it up. Just something's just not clicking in the middle there. So we'll figure out what's going on. Maybe if I add the darker shadows and stuff that we're going to need later, maybe that won't matter. It just needs 10 more minutes, maybe. But for right now, good luck. Thank you so much. Good luck on your exam. I hope it's really great. For right now, I'm going to leave you all to your evening. I'm going to go eat some dinner. But thank you so much for tuning into the live tonight. Thank you for prompting this fun discussion on seasons and weather. Okay, don't fail your exam, Afzel. Thanks for tuning in. I love this discussion about seasons and weather and early risers and not so early risers. I like how we just deviated a lot today, and that's pretty fabulous. So I'm gonna power through here, see what I can do to fix this little guy up, get us back on track. We're making the right progress. I just gotta figure out what the turtle's trying to say. I think some of the lines are weird too. I think some of the lines I put in are weird. I'll figure it out. In the meantime, I hope you all have a fabulous, fantastic week. And I will be back again on Monday, hopefully after figuring out all this madness. And we'll do this again soon. Thank you so much to everybody. And I will hopefully be tuning into all of your streams over the next coming week. Have a great night, guys.